So making good progress, and got the rotary encoder fitted on here, and as you can see it's pretty smooth and it stays more or less in place even with fine movements. Bearing in mind this is obviously more of a, you're not meant to spend your time being fixated in pixel level detail around London. This is meant to be obviously exploring the globe to your pleasure. With that said, this is one of the things which is kind of nice about prototyping, is that you do a sketch in your book and you realize, hey, if you're looking through this looks great, tracking. Oh, hang on a minute. I can't really see when I go down here. So suddenly the error in the user interface of that one cannot peer through the looking glass at Antarctica very effectively. I guess the only thing that you could say is a saving grace is, fortunately, just the way the world has shaped, the Southern Hemisphere is not quite as radio station specific. But I don't want to be prejudiced to Antarctica, because there could be some great stuff down there. But nonetheless, it does give me slight cause for concern that this is sort of, should we say, a bit of a UX fail. So I think the solution will be to bring this much closer so that it really does sit flush to the face. But as you can see, this is just hot melt glue gunned on for quickness, and it gives a general impression of just where we're at. But certainly for let's be honest, the Northern Hemisphere, it looks great, and I love the fact it actually sort of limits your vision a little bit. Although this wasn't actually a design part, this was actually a failed print that I just stuck on for quickness. And I think in some ways that's one of the things I love so much about prototyping, is quite often it's that random clutter that sometimes ends up being incorporated into design, and then later you post-rationalize why that was a great idea. So I'm giving away some secrets there. But anyway, hope that's useful. The next stage is working with Don, the ace coder who's doing all the stuff with the Raspberry Pi. He's had some good success on getting these rotary encoders working, but I've also got to figure out how to wire them up, because it turns out there's some slightly peculiar little things. So these pins in the back here, which you can maybe just see, those turn out to be, should we say, a little exotic, as they're a non-standard spacing, which means I've had to order specialist circuit boards to wire them up, although in fairness you could just solder them on and be done with it. But I'm trying to work to a slightly higher standard than that, because unlike people who might assemble this open source, I'm probably going to be disassembling it all the time, because it is a prototype and it is work in progress. So that's the difference between made to go together once and made to go together a ton of times, hence my love of brass inserts as opposed to glue. So there we are, that's where we're at the minute. Crack on.